parliamentary elections occurred in Armenia on the 20th of June 2021. The elections were initially scheduled for the 9th of December 2023, but were moved forward due to the ongoing political crisis in Armenia following the 2020 Nagorno-Karabakh War. The 7th National Assembly of Armenia was officially dissolved on the 10th of May 2021 and the 8th Assembly will be elected. The members of the unicameral National Assembly are elected by party list proportional representation. Number of seats is at least 101, and it rise when allocation of additional seats is required. Seats are allocated using the D'Hondt method with an election threshold of 5% for parties and 7% for multi-party alliances. However, a minimum of 3 political groups will enter parliament, regardless of the performance of the third best performing party or alliance. Seats are allocated to parties using their national share of the vote. 4 seats are reserved for national minorities, with parties having separate lists for the 4 groups. A gender quota requires any top section of a party list to include at least 30% candidates of each gender. If a party receives a majority of the vote but wins less than 54% of the seats, they will be awarded additional seats to give them 54% of the total. If one party wins over 2/3 of the seats, the losing parties which made it over the threshold will be given extra seats, reducing the share of seats of winning party to 2/3. If a government is not formed within 6 days of the preliminary results being released, a runoff round between the top 2 parties must be held on 28th day. The party that wins the runoff will be given the additional seats required for a 54% majority. With all seats allocated in the first round preserved, participating parties and alliances were required to submit applications with all supporting documentation by 1800 on the 26th of May. The electoral lists of the political parties and alliances of parties were registered by the 31st of May. Cancellations were accepted until the 10th of June. The official election campaign took place from 7 to the 18th of June. Voting took place on the 20th of June from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. 4 alliances and 23 parties submitted documents to Armenia's Central Electoral Commission in order to register for the elections. Several of the parties and all of the alliances were established in 2020 or 2021 following Armenia's defeat in the 2020 Nagorno-Karabakh War. 4 alliances and 21 parties participated in the election. May be open to coalition with either of them if Marukyang is candidate. Notes: the Christian Democratic Rebirth Party decided to withdraw its application to participate in the elections as an independent entity. Instead, the party will participate as a part of the Shiranyan Babajanian Alliance of Democrats. On the 7th of June, the leader of Armenian Eagles Unified Armenia Party said that his party is terminating their election campaign and won't participate in elections. He called to cancel elections at large until the border regions of Armenia are liberated from Azerbaijani occupation. 8 monitoring missions, including from OSCE, ODIHR and CIAS, did register for observing of the elections. A total of 250 short-term observers will arrive from ODIHR and 70 observers from CIAS countries will monitor the elections. There were 8 monitoring missions in 2018 parliamentary elections and 6 missions in 2017 parliamentary elections. 24, 3, 6, 14, 9, 5, 11, 25, 34 seats, 32% seats, 61 seats, 58% seats, 10 seats, 9.5% seats. Turnout was reported at 49.4%. Preliminary results announced in the evening of the 20th of June showed that Pashinyan's civil contract party was leading with 58.5% of the vote, while former President Robert Kocharian's Armenia Alliance had 18.8%. Acting Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan claimed victory in the snap election, but moments later, Kocharian's alliance rejected the outcome, saying it would not recognize the results until alleged voting irregularities were addressed. Meanwhile, Tigran Mukuchyan, the head of the Central Electoral Commission, stated, on the whole, the election was conducted in accordance with the country's legislation.